everyone, and welcome back to Britt. And for today's video I'm going to be doing the Gum Gum and the Chop Chop fruit from One Piece. I have recently become addicted to this show, so for the materials you will need some light brown clay, some purple clay, green clay, a lighter purple clay, TLS, a cutting tool, some baby oil, a paintbrush, and sculpey glass glaze. Start by conditioning your light brown clay, and then you're going to roll it out. Once you get it about this thin, you're going to cut it at about an inch and a half. And then you're going to take your leftover light brown clay and you're going to roll that out, and you want one side to be pretty thick and the other side's going to be about as thin as the previous piece that you made, and you're going to cut that also at about maybe 2 inches. And then roll the end to a point. Take that end and you're going to curl it under and make a little tiny curl like this. And once you get it to the place that you want it to be, go ahead and bake it in the oven at 275 for 15 minutes. Once it's done baking, go ahead and take your grape purple colored clay and roll it into a ball. And take your hardened piece of clay that we just made and add some TLS around the edges and put that through the ball of purple clay you just made. Then you're going to take your leftover purple clay and you're going to roll that out pretty thin. Next you're going to cut about a ½ inch off, and then you're going to roll both edges to a point. And you're going to roll them in and make an S. I know that my hand's off camera, but I do show it again for you guys so you can see. It's going to look like this. And you're going to need to make a lot of those because you need to cover the whole fruit with them. Once you have those, you're going to take and put your TLS onto the part that you already made, and you don't want it to be too thick, but you want it to be thick enough that the S's that you made will stay on and bake on. And then just go ahead and place them. There isn't really any order to how you need to place them, so just place them wherever they fit and make sure they're very close to each other. It's going to take a while to cover the whole thing, but once you do, it's going to look something like this. And then you can bake it in the oven at 275 for another 15 minutes. Now I'm going to be working on the Chop Chop fruit. I'm going to start by conditioning my green clay and rolling it out. I'm going to roll one end to a point. And then once I have that rolled out the way I like it, I'm going to chop off and make it about 2 inches. Go ahead and put that to the side and grab a small ball of green clay, and you're going to roll that, making one end pointed, and then flatten it out. Just like you make a teardrop shape or a leaf. In this case it's a leaf, so you're going to attach it to that first green part that you made, and you're going to need to make about 8 of these and put them onto the main piece one by one. And once you're finished with this, go ahead and bake it in the oven at 275 for 15 minutes. Once it's finished baking, go ahead and grab your light purple clay and roll it into about an oval shape. And then take your stem part and add some TLS and stick it through the purple body. And you're going to need to mold the purple part around the stem a little bit to get the right shape. But it's fairly simple and you should be able to do it really easily. Here's what mine looks like once I have that finished. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to be adding the actual design that gives the Chop Chop its look. You're going to be doing something very similar to the first one. Just roll out the clay and then you're going to roll a small piece into a point and then roll it, but you're going to just keep rolling it so it's like a little swirl, and you're going to make a ton of these because you need to cover your entire fruit. And here I'll show you how I did it again. I roll out a small piece, cut off the excess, and make sure one side has a point and just roll it into the swirl pattern very gently. Once I have what I need, I'm going to take and add TLS to the fruit part of the Chop Chop fruit and place each one of those swirls on all around the Chop Chop. This is what mine looks like after I'm done placing those, and then I'm going to set it in the oven at 275 for 15 minutes. And once they both cool down after being in the oven, I'm going to add 2 layers of sculpey glass glaze so that it's glossy and it stays together. And here is the finished product of the Chop Chop fruit and the Gum Gum fruit. I also made some smaller ones like these, and if you want to make them charms, all you have to do is add your eye pin or eye pin screw into it, and it makes a perfect necklace or bracelet charms. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to check out my last video. And if you want to see more stuff that I made, go ahead over to my store envy, which is in the description. Thanks for watching.